Welcome everyone to my chess stream here, a subscriber stream on Twitch and lichess.org. International Master Willam Paschall. We're going to be playing some blitz and classical chess, as well as doing some analysis of games. Subscriber stream, basically an extra stream I do every week to benefit my subscribers here. We're going to be specifically accepting challenges from the subscribers and going over games. If we have a lull in the action or there's a lack of challenges from subscribers, we'll also take a few challenges from guests and maybe even a game analysis from a guest. But I can't guarantee it. The stream is for the benefit of our subscribers. I want to thank you guys, and this is my way of doing that. Thank you for subscribing to the stream. So while we're waiting, I could jump in While we're waiting, I could jump in a game here. There is a challenge from a non-subscriber, Greg's. He's been challenging me all week, so usually when I'm working and I can't accept challenges at all, I'm going to take this challenge against Greg's here to start things off, because we don't have any subscribers arriving yet. We'll wait for you guys. I'm working on a project on the Blumenfeld Gambit, but I'll probably have to face the London system every time I face d4. I'd really like to play some interesting games that have some theoretical ramifications, but this guy I think did this against me once before. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult to do anything special. Maybe b5 in the spirit of 3a6 against Queen's Indian type setups. Abita Boulay. Abita Boulay, I don't know if he's a subscriber. If you guys are subscribers, let me know. If you're challenging me, you're a subscriber, and I don't accept a challenge or something, let me know. ChessPro02. I got your message on Twitch, so we can take a look at that game. Even maybe first off, no one else is here after this classical game. We're playing as sharply as we can, basically, against this low fianchetto setup. So while I'm playing this game, let's chat a little bit. Not a lot going on in the chess world. I mean, I guess the London Chess Classic is coming up. That'll be the next interesting thing. That's a long ways away, though. I don't know why I said that. It's really weird that I said that. I'm acting like it's already December, you know. But I mean, there's just nothing special on the chess schedule. I mean, there's a lot of open tournaments around the world, different places, but I couldn't think of anything offhand. Knight c3 now. Well, that's like a hyper aggressive move. A little disturbing, actually. What exactly am I supposed to do with that? Not really sure exactly what I'm supposed to do here. I kind of don't like any of my options. Maybe queen b6. You get these computer-like moves, bishop e3. I only mention that because I remember this particular variation that was similar to this. There was this guy I figured was an engine who played this Magnus Carlsen-like Grunfeld move, bishop e3. And after the game, I realized it had to have been an engine. One of these games in my stream, like last year or early this year, I don't remember. I don't know what to call this type of opening. You know, where you play like a6, b5, and counter fianchetto with the extended fianchetto. It should just kind of fall into a category, but I don't know what to call it exactly. I am working on the Blumenfeld, and I'm working on some systems based on like d4, knight f6, c4, e6, and a6, like that. It's kind of in that family of openings where you play like b5 and a6. Sorocha, thanks for showing up, man. I really appreciate, you know, having somebody here who has moderator powers. You know, I consider you even like a subscriber, permanent subscriber. He's a lifetime honorary subscriber for life. Soroche for helping us. Will Wolf, Chess Pro 02. There is another Grand Prix tournament left, I think. Yeah, when does that start? That'll be cool. I mean, I'm not a big supporter of FIDE, but at least the tournaments are a high standard for the Grand Prix. Yeah, that's obviously very important for the next upcoming like candidate cycle or whatever. I have the weekend off chess-wise, no tournament game this weekend. So I didn't have any challenges. Usually the subscribers, don't show up the minute my stream starts. So I occasionally accept a few outside challenges. Instead of bishop e3, White played bishop f4, which it doesn't threaten anything overt. I could take on d4 now. I mean, White is developing, and there is potentially like queen a1 in some positions. I guess I could be like uber materialistic and take bishop takes f3. Bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, pawn takes pawn. Actually might be a good move. Bishop takes f3, pawn takes c5, bishop takes c5. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm giving up such a powerful piece to do that, but it resolves the center. Bishop takes f3, pawn takes c5, bishop takes c5, bishop takes f3, and he doesn't really lose anything. I would develop quickly, but give up my bishop pair in that line. And I'm not sure if it's really worth it. But what are my other options here? Pinning myself with like knight to c6. There's queen a1. Queen a1 is concerning. I mean, that's like about to happen any moment. Pawn takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes g2. Yeah, actually, that kind of makes the most sense, right? Well, there is this knight coming through b5. Pawn takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes g2, king takes g2, b4. And if knight b5, we have what? We have what? A lagging development and problems with our king still being in the center. Does that sound like a good combination to you? I'm a little concerned about this. White just developing the pieces, but pawn takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes g2. My b5 pawn is hanging there, and when I play something like b4, he just plays knight b5, though there's no direct threat. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. Like just bishop to c5 or something. I guess it's playable. I'm running out of time. It's safer to play bishop takes f3. It is not a Blumenfeld gambit. It is kind of like in its family of openings, I guess. But it's like one of these things where white does d4, knight f3, g3 against the Queen's Indian, and you can just go b5, which a lot of professionals prefer. It's like more aggressive than playing the Queen's Indian, and it stops c4. But again, I don't know what to call it. Not clear what this opening is called. Check here. I think it's like better to keep your options open. I think I had a bad hallucination. Whew, man. All right. All right. This is a little dangerous. I guess on knight b5 I can play knight to d5, which is not at all my original intention. Knight b5, knight d5, just shielding me from the c7 check. I originally totally forgot white was threatening knight c7 check. I mean, there's no fork, there's no rook on a8, so you're not focusing on it like you would normally, but it's obviously pretty disruptive to allow him to play knight c7 check. Maybe I can allow it though. It's funny, I just like didn't even think about it. Knight b5, bishop c5. Actually, knight c7 check doesn't do anything. Famous last words. Doesn't seem to do anything. That's good. We're almost ready to develop, ready to castle. Ayesta, I got your message. Grand Prix starts 16th of November. Okay, so we got a solid month almost. World Loser, welcome. Ayesta. What's that? IPA beers. Do they have IPA in Hungary? Well, we have imported. It's, you know, I guess in bars and stuff, like you can get, there's some specialty bars you can go in touristic districts, you know, like Irish pubs and stuff where they probably have IPA. I buy my beer at like Tesco when I buy beer, or maybe in like a Chinese convenience store, or in this case Vietnamese on my street. But I mean, I'm sure there are like specialty stores you can go to and buy various kinds of beer. Alright. Well, I guess I'm forced to play this. And now there's this annoying knight to d6 check, so we have to castle before it's too late, before anything bad happens to me. Black should be okay. Funny. He didn't avail himself of the possibility of playing knight c7 check. I figured that my king is actually fairly safe in the center on e7. What's up, guys? No, I like when I was in the States, I was drinking what was it? Bass ale. What is this, some sort of trick? He's like tempting me with the pawn on e4. Queen takes e4 check. That's kind of weird. f3. Yeah, I mean, alright, I'm just gonna castle, dude. I'm not gonna let you, you know, do anything bad to me. I don't want the pawn. I want my king to be safe. I'm lazy. I'm not even gonna calculate this too much. Queen takes f3. I don't know. Maybe he has some weird way to keep my king in the center. Now, I'm getting confused again. There is knight takes e4. Super confusing. Knight takes e4, bishop takes f8. I mean, I could play knight takes e4, bishop takes f8, knight g5 check f3. He's got defenses there. I don't seem to have a winning discovery on knight takes e4. I'm sure that I would have compensation for the sacrificed exchange. Knight takes e4, bishop takes f8, king takes f8 or something like that. But it just doesn't seem really necessary. What am I doing this for? I'm crazy. We could just play rook c8, I guess. Is the safest. That's the safest move available. Man, this is a pretty irritating position. Got all my pieces developed. How about you? Pretty much. Everything but the rook. Anyway, so knight takes e4, unclear, but probably good for me somehow. I'm still not fully tuned in. Yeah, yes, I got the game. I got the game from Chess Pro too. So we're gonna take a look at those next. It looks like I'm winning here. I don't think he has to play bishop takes c5. Actually, I said I was winning, but I'm not clearly winning. Anyways, it's complicated. It's still a little complicated. I thought I was winning, but I thought wrong, I guess. His knight maybe does get trapped here. Yeah, I guess I am winning. I mean, queen b6, what's he gonna do? He has no way to get out. Actually, he has a knight move. I need some finesse here. Queen a6, queen b6, queen b6. He has all sorts of moves. Hanging on. Queen c7, well, it's basically the same thing, except queen c7. For some reason I like this better. Why do I like this better? It might even be worse. Alright. Yeah, let's put our queen on the more active square. Maze of complications here in this game. Black still stays active. I think the white has more weaknesses in the end. But I may have missed forced wins, I don't know. I just didn't see anything absolutely crystal clear. White has weakness on c2, e4, knight on d6. I have less, well, I have the b4 pawn. He's been unable to actually put much pressure on that. Queen a8 was possible there. Seriously? I didn't really consider it. It was kind of decentralizing, but yep. Knight b3. I still like my game, like no matter how you slice it here. White looks a little overextended, though he can probably hold. He could even have some dangerous threats. Don't know anything about this player. I played him 2 previous games, but I don't recall if they were even on the stream or like off stream. Kind of new account. He's been challenging me a lot off stream, but I rarely have time to play. I mean, I will play you guys if I have time, but oftentimes I'm just like doing lessons and stuff. This is a family fork. Obviously, that's tragic blunder by white. Prior to that move, it looks like he's hanging on. I would say black's a little better. The computer does not agree because of queen h5. Ouch. I literally have like no way to protect my king side. Queen h5 and queen f3. Oh my god. But I think this was the first moment where I had a lost position in the game. Literally like the move before he blundered and lost. Yeah. So I don't know. What was suggested here? Queen a8 was suggested. Looks like my first instinct of queen c7, which I thought was safer, was actually in reality safer. And I would have been alright after that. But instead I played queen b6, totally overlooking this series of moves. I mean, I saw knight b3, but I thought white was like overextended, but he has this perfect e5. Here I should have played queen c6 check. And I don't know why that helps, but I guess, I don't know why that makes a difference. Queen c6 check, king g1. And then I can play knight e4, okay. So I hang on by eliminating the knight on d6. Overall, like, the game looked pretty close. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go back to the game studies that we're going to take a look at. Ayeste and Chess Pro. Queen h5 or queen f3. He plays queen h5 first. I didn't see this. There's no way to defend f7. Alright. So apparently, yeah, this was the key position. I was fine the whole game until that. Like move before I lost. I mean before I won. Well, one little move can make a big difference. I really didn't imagine I could be lost. That's amazing. It's really amazing. So apparently I had a really big advantage at this point, and I should have taken the pawn like when I had the first opportunity. Here I thought this was really interesting. Knight takes, bishop takes f8. You know, I was even thinking of playing like king takes f8 here, honestly. Yeah, that's the best move. It looks like it wasn't that good though, not that clear. So I was right to decline this, but I could have taken the pawn the first time. This was apparently very strong, knight c6. I was getting confused with these pieces, like it was very confusing with all these pieces so close together and all these different kind of forks and stuff. But I rejected this because of something. Well, I just assumed f3, knight f6, and then like knight d6 check, and I'm gonna have to give up my bishop, and I can't castle temporarily, so you know, it looks like he has a little bit of compensation. My king is kind of trapped in the center. You know, I didn't know if I really had to allow that. All right, well, let's go back to, yeah, it was a tricky game. It is almost out of the blue, queen h5. It's kind of amazing. I mean, I really didn't sense any serious danger here, but I have to be extremely precise. This is like only move queen c6 because I have knight e4. Yeah, this is like literally out of the blue. g6. If queen f3, now I have to play f6 or f5. Maybe I'm not lost. Yeah, I'm lost. Well, okay, it's not that clear though. Stockfish was kind of getting excited there. Stockfish putting 2.6 on the board. But maybe my processor is just too slow or something. I don't know, dude. It's not that obvious. Like, this looks exaggerated. It's 2.6. Apparently, there's no forced win, so it's still a game. This sometimes you got to be careful with the engine. It gets a little excited. Maybe some other processes were slowing it down or something, but it's not game over. Rook d1 and white is just better, but not winning out of hand. So that's weird. Let's see how my computer is. What are we doing here? I refreshed Firefox. I refreshed Firefox today. I wonder if that did something to the 300 nodes. Isn't very fast. It's definitely not very fast, and I don't know. I messed with Firefox today, refreshing it. It might have done something strange, and I know like Google Chrome is working better with the Stockfish and stuff. But anyways, good to know I wasn't like completely hopelessly lost at one move. That didn't seem fair. Let's go to our game analysis. So I made a study of Ayeste's game, and I've got the other game. Let's start with Ayeste. Studies. My studies. Ayeste game. I guess Ayeste is here. Chess Pro, I'll do your game next. Soltigo, welcome. Yeah, in Belgrade we have markets or beer bars with the IPA. Yeah, I mean you can definitely find it here, but you have to look around. It's not in like, it's not easy to find like, you know, English beer in every corner store. I didn't see even in, I don't think Tesco sells Bass Ale. I haven't noticed that. All right. So Ayeste, let's see if we can guess the colors here. I don't know what color you are. If it's a Rossalimo, I would assume you're white. But after knight c3, I'm thinking Ayeste might be black. But I'm not 100% sure. Ayeste, move 11, what's up? Oh, you're white, you played knight c3. Interesting, because you played, you know, so a couple times Rossalimo against me. Our first game, in fact, was a Rossalimo. So, Grand Prix attack, how many times have we seen this? And it never gets old. Knight f3, d6. So absolutely no reason for black to play d6. This is just like a bad move. You know, there are certain reasons why black has to play, you know, Najdorf players play like d6 so that they don't get tricked out of the Najdorf after knight f3. If you're not committing, if you're not like a person who has to fianchetto kingside, you can play a6. This is another anti-Grand Prix attack move order. But this move order in the game, just, I don't see the point, you know, really. I mean, you're fianchettoing, and then why, you know, do we play d6? Okay, maybe black doesn't like the variation with 5 bishop b5 for whatever reason, so he's playing d6. I guess now bishop c4 is the best move, because we, you know, transition to a more like accepted version of the bishop c4. There's nothing wrong with bishop to b5 check, but I think, like, you know, we've got a slightly better version of the normal Grand Prix attack with bishop c4. The GPA. No reason to avoid it, says Chess for Fun. It isn't dangerous for black, but it's also like kind of boring and like it's maybe not a question of avoiding it because it's dangerous, like avoiding it because it's like dull and like we get tired of playing against it every single game. I'm definitely like all in for like, you know, something new, because they can just play the same routine moves over and over again. It may not be dangerous, but if in the hands of a very capable player, it's probably like a draw or something, you know. I can definitely support exploring new options like a6. Well, it's not new. I mean, it's been pretty popular for like the last 10 years. But anyway, I mean, a6 is not only played to avoid the Grand Prix attack. It has that side effect, but I think that players, you know, who play the Con Sicilian and other lines can use that. Anyways, I think bishop c4 is best. So now, okay, black plays a crazy move. An alternative here for white that I like is a4. Like playing it like Nimzovician style. Certainly, this has to be a decent move. Guys, this is a subscriber stream. I'm really doing this primarily for my subscribers. So if I don't accept your challenges, if you're like outside viewers and stuff, please don't take it personally. This stream is intended for the but for the primary benefit of my subscribers. As a thank you to them for subscribing, which I do once a week on Thursdays. I have kind of open streams. Everyone's welcome to watch, but I have open streams for everyone, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday nights, and simul's on Sundays at 6:30 p.m. CEST. So anyway, I asked we're going on and on here. This is weird, you know, what you did, like go bishop b5 and then back to c4. I mean, it seems very inconsistent. You know, I don't know why this is beneficial, really. I mean, you're giving him an extra move, basically. It's not the biggest move in the world, but it's still a beneficial, slightly beneficial move. So a4 looks good. Castles is even possible. Ironically, bishop c4 is the main move here. Okay, that's weird. Is there another possible move order? Is there something deeper to this? I don't really understand. I mean, there are like 142 games. White has a negative score. Like, check these statistics out. Okay, like, Carlsen did this, but how was the move order here? Was this the actual move order? Or is there some other way we could reach this move order? What? Really? It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, it's possible these players really literally did this, but look at the score. I mean, it's like negative for white, and black thinks, you know, the computer thinks black is better. I mean, if Magnus Carlsen played this, good for him, but I mean, he lost to Anand. I don't know. It's interesting, but I can't really justify this. I just don't understand, you know. Okay, does it really benefit black to give him an extra move? That is kind of weird. Okay, h5 is obviously pretty extreme. It's not the worst move in the world. I guess he wants to play like knight h6 and try to hold up everything. Although there are weaknesses in black's position. Natural moves are best here. Knight c6 and apparently even e6. Although e6, you've got to be a little skeptical about e6, right? I mean, wouldn't white have d4 there? This has got to be a good open Sicilian now. The results don't really bear it out, but it's only 2 games. 2 games. That's a really relevant sample size. So anyways, h5 leaving book, d3, knight h6. Gurgenidze, Caro-Kann style. Yeah, here I think that white should consider playing like a3 or something like that. Don't trust my engine and my stockfish. Don't get too excited if you see it like flashing red lights or something, because it said I was losing last game instantaneously. You know, the standard f5 is not surprisingly possible here. Let's see what Ayesta did. He played more conservatively. Black has weakened himself. You know, h3. h3 is not a bad move. I would lean toward probably like a3 or something. Just giving my bishop. I probably want to preserve this in a vacuum. You know, if I have time to do so. But he's still not directly threatening to trap it. So apparently, okay, h3 looks a little weakening, a little slow. This move may not be all that it's cracked up to be. You know, like bishop b3, knight c6. He's going to try to hunt your bishop down with knight a5, but does he have time? I don't know. You know, none of these moves are clearly bad, but I mean, I think it's more natural to play a3 and bishop a2. Black has weakened his king side. Now, even piece sacrifices are possible. Obviously, the e line. So we could do something crazy like f5, probably. But it's so hard to, in a brief analysis, conclusively say like what the best was. Here, saving your bishop is best. Knight d4. And now this move. Yeah, yes, I don't know why you didn't play the normal. Just capture on d4 here. It looks fine. Maybe you convinced yourself Black has something with like crazy fishing pole attacks, so like knight to g4. I mean, I don't think you could have. You certainly didn't fear pawn takes pawn, did you? I mean, this is a normal structure. You know, this is a pretty normal position, except Black's kind of weakened his king side with h5. And I think in the end, that probably favors white. The engines are out of control. My engine is not that reliable here today, so don't let ourselves get guided by it. Apparently, it's not really in control of itself. Okay, this is a bit weird. The knights are a little passively placed. Queen b6 looks good, flexible. And then he castles queenside. Oh goodness. Yeah, I tried to do that once, but not in quite this exaggerated of a. No, I didn't try to do it. Someone tried to do it against me. I have tried to do it in my blitz games here, actually. But I don't think I would try to do it once I've played like a6, b5. Maybe. If you could play bishop c6. It looks pretty crazy, though. Castling queenside. And then trading queens, leaving yourself with like some small edge. Yeah, it looks like you should go for the gusto here with white and just try to play with the queens on the board. Ultimately, his king is not that stable there. Bishop e3. I would probably think about bishop e3. You are going to maybe lose a pawn. I don't know. But I mean, looks like the kind of pawn you could definitely sacrifice. Bishop takes b4. Or maybe we don't have to sack the exchange. This is a little exaggerated. Just rook a2. Here you have a lot of play. I think you're even threatening e5 in some positions. That looks like a dangerous pawn sacrifice. So yeah, I think that white should play more for the full point here. Ayesta playing kind of conservatively. Ayesta, I don't know if maybe you don't play the Grand Prix attack that much. You maybe, you know, not that confident. It looks like, you know, you're not that confident playing a move like Queen a5. Queen a5 is like a safe move. You know, you don't risk anything, but it's not the most aggressive. You know, now I think black is okay here. Hard to really use the white pieces. I'd probably stylistically prefer black. He does not take the pawn. By the way, was this a tournament game? Ayesta? Mahmoud said what? Mahmoud, thanks for the update. It's not really winning. My engine was just exaggerating. White is better, but not winning in the last game after queen h5, queen f3. It's just better for white. Not quite winning. Like +1. It's still a tough game after that. But I don't like c3. So he had to defend the pawn. Why not bishop c3? I mean, this bishop is awfully strong on g7. If you're going to do something, I think I like bishop c3 better. The problem with c3 is that you weaken your whole pawn chain, and then this bishop could just slice and dice, and if that whole pawn chain falls apart, it's like game over, man. The party's over. F5. You're really risking your pawn chain, and this move would kill his bishop on g7. So thank you, Engine, for that suggestion. But I don't like c3. You know, I don't need I don't need Stockfish to tell me that I don't like that move. Okay, yeah, now knight g3. This was hesitant. Again, hesitant. He's breaking through. Now black has some advantages. But so the Engine just totally freaks out when black plays like knight f5 here, which looks like a natural move. He's trying to improve his worst piece with knight f5. And you are threatening knight h4 in some positions. The game on Chess Cube. Okay, so it's not like a tournament game. I thought it might be like a team game or some kind of live game. I don't know if I ever had an account on Chess Cube, actually. I think I made an account, but I never played there, like 10 years ago. Yeah, it's sad for black. I mean, so apparently this is a really big mistake. Knight f5, which seems like a natural move. Just because of this double threat. I mean, it's a one move threat. Now you're in the zone. He sacks the exchange. Has to. I'm surprised that the computer likes black as much as it does here. It says he's like almost equal if he plays correctly. Wow. He's down a clear exchange, but I also don't love his pawn structure and the backwardness of the e-pawn. So bishop f8 and black is holding on. That's a problem. Now you've got him tied down. Still not easy to make progress. Yeah. It's getting kind of dodgy now. What did we do wrong here? Just bishop e3. But I don't know how to make progress. It's looking very tough, very tough. Kind of Mexican standoff. I guess he has enough compensation. White's a little better. But after this, I guess you let it get out of control. Natural to blockade with bishop d2. Our esteemed friend the Chess Engine doesn't like it. I don't like the fact that he could kill you down the g file here, but I don't know, why bishop g1 is so important. Just keeping him tied down to the d pawn, apparently, or bishop f2. Your pieces are horribly placed with the rooks there doing nothing. Actually, both sides. Look at this. This is sad. You blundered. Yeah, I mean, rook a2, you can't possibly play that move. It must be time pressure related. Oh, this was at the time that lichess... At that time, lichess didn't exist? I guess. It was a long time ago. It's probably back in like... I'm thinking even longer. I made an account back in like 2007. 10 years ago. It's an old site, I mean, I definitely made an account around 2007, 2006. But I never played there. I don't know. I don't remember why I made the account. Someone told me about it, and I never actually used it. And he takes the time out to play h4. That's kind of weird. He's just like collecting material, man. Bishop e3 does it all. It stops rook a7 and checkmates you. Jeez. And he gets annihilated, basically. It's a nice finish, but not really a clean game. All right, thank you for sharing that. I guess that I mean I'm most stunned by this. I'm not playing the Grand Prix attack, but honestly, this is so weird for me. I mean, bishop b5 check and back to c4. That is so strange. I mean, how can that be good? It's not really good because white has a negative score, but still, like, Carlsen and Karyakin have played this position. You're basically like losing a move. That is very, very weird. ICC was the boss, 2012. Maybe it was Roman advice, probably. So, yeah, I would just play a4. I mean, I like a4. It's like a normal position. I would think Magnus would play that too, but Magnus plays a lot of bishop b5 check, anyway, like normal, like in the Czech Sicilian on move 3. So this position, I guess, something related to that. Let's grab this game I had from Chess Pro. Can we grab this and just make an analysis board? Hopefully that notation works. Yes. Alright, this is Chess Pro's game. If anybody else wants to analyze a game, any of the subscribers that are here now, you guys, if you guys want to analyze a game, send me a message on lichess or send me a link to the game. So again, like Mahmoud sent me that comment about the last game. Don't trust my engine on that game evaluation, Mahmoud. I did the game analysis, but it was my computer wasn't running fast enough, or my processor, the depth and everything. It's not correct. I wasn't totally lost after queen h5, but just clearly better for white, like +1. This is this Chess Pro game. Chess Pro. Can you tell me the colors? Okay. So Chess Pro is white. It's good to see a d4 game. I've been playing like knight f3, watching e4 games all day. So, queen b3. Okay, I don't know too much here. I've been playing queen c. I had been playing queen c2 quite a bit last year, but I've been underwhelmed by it. And this is far more of a main line. And in some of the games, obviously transpose after queen takes c4, d takes c4, queen takes c4. But I was really working on this gambit involving knight on bd2. But nobody ever gave me a chance to play this. Like, I literally would play hundreds of blitz games and no one would ever allow it, so it's kind of like irrelevant anyway. Whereas if you play queen b3, you have to recapture on c4, obviously. There are no interesting gambit continuations. But I don't know the theory really very well. I guess we can tie this into g3 and turn it into some kind of Catalan type of setup, right? If black plays semi-Slav, we're going to do a Catalan. Otherwise, like, what's the point, right? I mean, can we play bishop g5 straight away? I guess that's some weird possibility. But black takes on c4 anyways. Okay, queen takes c4, bishop f5. I know virtually nothing about this, except for watching, a few games here or there. Wojciech, my friend who died quite a while ago now, the Polish grandmaster who lived in the US, Alexander Wojciech was like a big expert with white. He played fianchetto against everything. He played these lines pretty well. If you check in the database like his games, you can get a pretty good approach going on. So g3. I'd be surprised if we didn't see a Wojciech game pop up here. He's a little lower rated than Mamedyarov and Ivanchuk, but maybe when we get it pared down a little bit. Bishop g2, and then h6. h6 is obviously a slow move, but it's kind of like, who is it that plays Berber from ICC? Plays 3h6 in the Caro-Kann. You can do it. You can do it basically anytime you have a bishop on f5, I guess. So you're supposed to do knight bd7 or some sort of developing move. h6 has 7 games. I can't imagine it's a really bad move. It also cuts out the ideas of bishop g5. So that's kind of interesting. Queen b3 is a John Fedorovich suggestion. John is a friend of mine. He's I don't know his repertoire that well. I mean, we're just kind of friendly, but we never really studied chess together except for a few games. I don't know his repertoire that well. I never played the semi-Slav against him. But John also plays, John plays like the main line Botvinnik variation with white, or at least he used to. So, I think that John capable of playing knight c3. But anyway, let's see. Take, g3, e6, bishop g2, then knight c3. Anytime I play the Catalan, I'm always like, and also with black and accelerated dragon type of King's Indians, I'm always a little bit reticent to cut my queen's like retreat squares off with knight to c3. But you're white and black played h6, so I don't think you're in any immediate danger. Your queen can obviously move if you get attacked by b5 pretty much to b3. But still, it's kind of striking here that there's 8 games with castles and only 1 game with knight c3. A lot of those games are transpositions probably where white had castled earlier, explaining a good deal of that. I like the fact that knight goes to c3, especially after h6. There's no bishop g5, no knight d2, bishop g5, knight d2, and try to play on the knight d2, play on the c file basically. All right, it's a more aggressive square for the knight. I mean, normally you're like castling kingside, playing e3 and bringing the queen back to e2 in this type of setup. That's what Wojo did. It looks like there's only a couple games with e3. Palatnik, wow. So, e3 would be the move I would play in a blitz game or something where I wasn't sure what I was doing. This is very safe. Coming back here. And then preparing like the standard kind of rook d1 and just, you got a little tiny advantage. Okay, like you knew the theory here. This is an obscure position. Knight e5 stops b5, but I'm a little bit scared, about the queen. I guess there's nothing there. I don't know. What does knight e5 actually do? It's my other question. The computer likes it. We're just going to play e4. So we're going to try to play more aggressively than e3. Now, Chess Pro, where is this game from? Mikhail Kopylov. I can't tell the story because it's like R-rated, but I had a run-in with him a very long time ago. All right, E4. You can read Chess Chow magazine for more details of that 1996 episode. The now defunct, long defunct Chess Chow magazine. Story about me, written by Charles, not about me, but I was part of the story. Charlie Hurtan. Kopylov. Hurtan had to play him in the last round of the very first tournament I ever played in Hungary. Anyway, the story involves that. So, well, no big names here. Everybody just plays e4. It's just the best move. Well, black has played virtually perfectly, and white too. Yeah, I mean, so you see, the problem is here, Chess Pro. I don't normally like with white. You're playing this space advantage Catalan type of situation. You don't really want to trade pieces, I mean, that's the problem. Anytime you do knight e5, the engine says this is the best move. Maybe it is the best move now, but it's kind of like why I don't know. That's why I prefer this more conservative approach. We We like aim for less, but we kind of keep all the pieces on the board. Though maybe he's going to exchange pieces in a different way with knight to e4. So I don't know. We'll see. It looks like you could play queen e2 here. What about rook to d1? Then he has a tactic. That's nasty. So if rook d1, he has the shot. Knight takes e4. This is actually interesting. Knight takes e4. Knight takes f7 in between move. That would be, you know, that would be interesting. Has that ever occurred? Bishop h7, rook d1. There's actually, this occurred in a game between my friends, Evert Khan and Martini Balázs. Amazingly, in 2004, this position actually happened. And Balázs didn't do knight takes e4. Evert is an IM and Martini is an FM. That's funny. Lots of Hungarian games. Knight takes d7, knight takes d7. Computer prefers queen takes. It's hard to decide. Yeah, this move I don't like because you're just exploding the center. This is a mistake. I mean, you have a space advantage. You just have to squeeze black. It's not exciting, but what can you do, you know? Unfortunately, he traded off a piece. So I think the d5, you're just going the wrong way here. And best case scenario, you know, you're just trading everything and it's a draw. So this guy played really, really well, actually. Damn. Now you're like losing a pawn, but maybe you can win it back with taking in like queen f5 or something. This looks even better. b3, computer move. Okay, but here you'd have to deal with knight b4, and that's a headache. Figuring out what the hell is going on after knight to b4. You're not a computer. Bishop takes, we just try to draw now. This pawn is more important. It's more important, although theoretically you could win with an outside pawn majority. His pawn is pretty far advanced. It's really kind of tying you up. I think you should eliminate it, you know, and content yourself with a draw here. Maybe queen takes b7 was actually a little too ambitious. Though objectively, white is still okay. Yeah, I guess theoretically you can still blockade. But it's very cramping. You know, it's pretty far advanced and it's very cramping. So you went on to lose. Okay, I mean, I guess it's equal. I was wondering how strong is your opponent, you know? I mean, he seems to have played really well. I'm not saying he's like a computer, but pretty flawless. Man, I mean, this move is... That's actually pure engine move. Queen e2. I mean, 99 out of 100 players would have played queen b7. Just to hold. Queen e2 allowing the pawn to drop. I mean, he is winning a piece, though, huh? After that. I guess it's not necessarily a computer move. I'm paranoid. It does win a piece. I wonder what black's center-pawn loss was in this game. It gets the piece back, but the pawn is too strong. I thought, now you have a draw? Whoa, what happened? So, what was the last move here? d3. Yeah, I mean, this is bizarre, though. So if d2, rook e8, takes, king h7, queen e4, rook g6. Maybe he didn't see that. So instead he played this move, allowing you the other checking sequence here. Although you'd have to be an engine, really. f4. You're actually winning now. This was a blunder. I don't know if you're winning now, but queen takes e8 check. Like, I don't have to turn the stockfish off because it's like, not only is it bad to rely on the engine, but it's not even accurate. Queen takes e8 check, king h7. But I mean, I would be content with a draw here with white. The actual game was f5. You win a rook, and you're winning. And how did you lose? Oh, you won. I thought you said you lost in the endgame. What did I miss, dude? Why did I think you lost? I thought you said you lost. So I was like anticipating like all the game that like White was gonna lose, and then you don't lose. That's confused me. All right. It's better if I don't know the result before it's over, because it just biases like how I analyze the game. Wow, that was interesting. Where was this game? It was 2000 FIDE. Yeah, I mean he was definitely playing well though. So he has to come out with king g5. And that looks crazy, but queen takes g7 check, king h5, and apparently White can't win. He has a wild try here. Rook c4, rook e2 check, king h3, rook takes h2 check, king takes h2, queen f2 check, king h3 and perpetual. It reminds me of a Leningrad Dutch I had against FIDE Master John Curdo once, where I lost. He was like already like 70 years old, and John has played the Leningrad all his life, and I had a king out on h3 in the middle game, and his king was on h6. It was just insane. It was like move 25, and like our kings are on like h3 and h6, and I lost. But anyway, exciting game. But I think that the thing we can take away from this Chess Pro was that middle game situation where, you know, the first question is, should you play e3, queen e2, more conservative? Or do we do this and just try to hold the central advantage, you know, with like rook d1, or I would just play like rook d1 here. I mean, this looks very pleasant. It's unfortunate that he was able to trade one set of pieces. You know, it's still not that easy for a human being to make progress in this position with White. It's not that apparent what your plan is for me. But, you know, what you did was really bad. I mean, d5, you might as well just like say, please draw, you know, to Peter Lukács did that once with a friend of mine. He like offered a draw by saying, please draw. I thought that was funny. But anyway, the middle game, this late opening was the key, you know. What happened after that, you were very fortunate, you know, to get a winning position at the end. Because here you had nothing. If anything, like black was slightly better. Alright guys, let's take a couple challenges from subscribers. So all you guys are subscribers. I'm like whistling as I talk. Move 11. You have anything interesting for us? I never remember if Morales is a subscriber. Am I like losing my mind? I ask this question like every stream. Morales, you are a subscriber, aren't you? Yeah, d5 was just trading off, you know, the center basically. I don't know if Morales is here. He got bored with all that analysis. Okay, I mean, I can't possibly analyze like the whole game, like, you know, in depth. We try to cover it all, but good fight, you know. I mean, you just have to play the opening better. Not really the opening, well, the late opening, whatever you want to call that point where he played d5. The real question is knight e5, you know, is it really the best or not? You know, I always like hesitate when I do that because let's play some kind of something classical here. Some kind of classical. If I play e4, c5. So rather than just the routine stuff I do in Blitz, let's play something more incisive. Bishop g5 is like a lazy move, and I like to play because I feel very comfortable with it. But We should really test ourselves in some kind of theoretical position. So mainline Mar del Plata variation. I don't think I've ever played this against Morales, but I'm not 100% certain. Tony Miles played like knight h4. There's also king h1. Maybe Miles invented king h1 and there was somebody else who played knight h4. Jeroen Piquet or something. The other Jeroen. Jeroen! Your namesake. Knight h5. So we can go old school Van Welly style here. Van Welly. All the Dutch guys just keep popping out of my brain when I see this. Why is that? Knight h5. Van Welly was like he's a big bayonet attack guy, or like used to be. But you know, the modern line is rook e1. Another guy who lives in Holland responsible for that. Mr. Ivan Sokolov. Bishop f1. And this is all book, I guess. This particular line, I don't really remember what I'm supposed to play now. Huh. I think I take and play e5. Has he done something wrong? Actually, what is up with this? What is up with this? Bishop takes f4. What is going on around here? Bishop takes f4. Why don't I know this line? Pawn takes e4. Bishop takes e5. Pawn takes f3. Bishop takes g7. Yeah, actually, that loses a piece for me, doesn't it? Bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. What am I talking about? Doesn't lose a piece. Alright, this is weird. It almost looks like I have a good, like, 80s, a good 1980s variation that I used to play in the 80s, the very late 80s, or early 90s. It's all the same. Milos Krstić says, yeah, bishop takes f4 is the main line. I have nobody play this against me for some reason. Like, I've played a few bayonet attacks, but no one has gone down this road for the longest time. But I can't even remember the theory. I wanted to play e5, but now I'm having like second thoughts about it. Well, I don't think it's the main line, it's like a line, right? e5 takes. Am I supposed to play like rook c1? Old school style? With rook c1 we could actually transpose to variations like I used to play a million years ago. But I'm trying to remember if e5 is good or not. Pawn takes e5, knight takes e5. Bishop takes e5, rook takes e5, queen d6. This actually looks good for white. I mean, am I missing something here? In a way, it's kind of artificial for me. But this knight can't move. You could even do some kind of craziness here. Yeah, rook c1 is the move, says Milos Krstić. I analyzed this with my coach a couple of days ago. It's not really that great for black. Apparently rook c1 is a move, huh? This may be a move too. g5 gives him a square for his knight, obviously. That is kind of useful for black. Yeah, so we do c5, rolling. This was, I used to play c5 immediately, circa 1989. instead of rook e1 or g3. This is the really oldest form of the bayonet attack, but Morales seems pretty well prepared here. That's quite a pawn formation you've got there. The slicing, dicing two bishops, and that nasty, it's like, what do you call it? What was that? You know the game I'm I'm talking about where the blocks are like falling down. That really old video game from the early 90s. What's it called? You guys know what I'm talking about. The shapes that are falling down, you have to like fit them at the bottom of the screen. This looks like that, dude. It's a very rare pawn formation. Tetris, thank you, Count Culture. It's a Tetris. That's ridiculous. Alright, rook d1. d6 check and get on the 7th. Yeah, we've got some threats. Very rare to get the Tetris formation. A raven says read chat. Did I miss something? Yeah, I did just read the chat. Alright. Tetris. I haven't played the Tetris in a while. 20 years or so. It's a delay. Definitely there is a little delay. An intentional delay, but just a few seconds. Alright. Yeah, I think Milos Krstic, I studied that a long time ago, but I kind of haven't played the classical King's Indian with white because of the reason that exact reason that I've kind of forgotten a lot of lines. So the less you do something, like the more afraid you are to do it. And so I'm playing other stuff, Bishop G5 and whatnot, or just avoiding it in general. Tried to refresh chat, got a commercial. Now wonder if I'm even further behind now with the delay. I got a security alert. A new vulnerability called Crack was announced recently, likely impacting anyone who's using Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi. Consider using a secure VPN. Thank you for that notice. Oh man, the Tetris just lurched forward in zigzag formation, man. I'm really seriously considering d6 check. The Tetris stops my big idea of like transferring my queen over to h3. I mean, okay, whatever, man. I've got a minute left. We're just gonna play on intuition here. He doesn't have a strong attack yet, and he's got problems with his development. He's got a really nice dark square bishop, and I'm the first one to admit it, but is that enough for, you know, great position? Probably not enough holistically. All of my stuff is working. Although rook e7, it starts to fall apart. Rook e7 is not enough. Man, I guess I have to play this. What else? Watch the Tetris. That stops bishop d4 type of stuff. Well, all my pieces are working as well as they can. Chess Pro saw a video by me on the Smyslov King's Indian. It's, yeah, okay, it's a lazy system, really, but it's good. It's effective. It's very good, you know, at playing like for beating low-rated players. It's a solid system. I mean, the Smyslov is meant to kind of frustrate King's Indian players, not refute the opening. But that doesn't mean that that's all I played or ever played. I've played a lot of different lines. I've tried most of the lines that are possible against the King's Indian. I mean, I probably played most everything. Not the Averbach. I haven't played the Averbach variation. I never seriously played the 4 pawns attack. thinking what else I didn't play. Pretty much everything else. Played like every other variation, besides the Averbach and the 4 pawns attack. Any obscure gambit lines against the King's Indian defense that exist? No. Because by nature, I mean, the King's Indian it's hyper modern, you know what I mean? Like, you can't gambit pawns against it. Black doesn't even like establish a pawn center. I mean, he's just like bishop g7, g6, knight f6, d6, castles. I mean, it's hard to play gambits against hyper modern things. Okay, this is lost for black now. Need to look no further. There's no way that you are not lost with a protected passer on the 6th rank like that. But it's still going to take a little bit of work to finish him off. So, some maneuvering perhaps. Now the Tetris. We'll try to like lure the Tetris forward a little bit. Alright, this is good enough, I hope. Everything's protected. Of course, losing part of his Tetris does not necessarily mean black is done thrashing about. But every time the Tetris lurches forward, there's like new weaknesses uncovered in its wake. F4, for example, here would be like really bad. He's trying to get me on the H file with King G6. Is that what that's about? Time started to fluster me a little bit. I really ought to play something like maybe G3, Bishop G2. Ensure my king side is safe. There's got to be a way to break through here. Not that easy, though. He can win the exchange. I don't even know which way I would take. I guess I have to. Which way would I take? Would I take with the queen or take with the pawn? Take with the pawn. What am I doing here? I don't really have a plan. There's this sort of cheapo I'm trying to set up. You can have the exchange. Okay, this was a weird move to play. I just like lost all my pieces. What an insane situation. Totally up screwed. Does anyone understand what's going on around here? a second. That was... Morales' rating has gone up, hasn't it? He's like 2100 now. Was he that high before? That was like horrifying. Horrifying play by both of us. At the end, I'm sure both of us were winning at various points. Even he's better here. I mean, I must have been winning somewhere. I had like 100 cent pawn loss. You think you should have played 92 to d4. I didn't come up with a good maneuver. I mean, I was winning. Even after this insane thing I did. I shouldn't have been, though. I was winning until this point, I guess. And then I let it get out of control when I did this crazy move, 94. This is just, like, really ridiculous. Everything is in order. I could just take his pawn. On b7. Apparently, like, yeah, he had that win in one move. And then he was just better after that. Okay, anyway, it was fun. Crazy game. I've got a message here. Nefedov, take your pick. I have a pick of games to analyze. What's that? All I said was imbecile. Whoa, dude. Will Wolfel, if you say like the F word, Mubat would never scold you. Alright. Nefedov, I get to take my pick versus me or Ostrovsky. No, let's take the Ostrovsky game because I've seen the game versus me already. Alright, let's open this up. This is Nefedov playing the black pieces. Alright, I've never played against Mr. Ostrovsky unless it was like anonymously. B3. I mean, not me anonymously, but could have been on another site or something. For the sake of completeness, I'm not aware of playing him before. So Nefedov just plays knight f6. Not trying to refute the b3. G6. Actually, we had this the other day. Was it with you, Chess Pro? Wasn't it against you, Chess Pro? I was white? No, I played, yeah, this opening, right? Ostrovsky plays like an animal. Oh, G4. I'm just trying to remember a game. Once there was a game I think I saw. I might have seen this. How did it go? Maybe it was this. I saw this guy try to play this with white against Igor Foigl. Foigl just killed him. He just played like bishop g7 and g5, knight h5 and laughed at white. Just fianchetted his knight. No problem, I think. But, you know, apparently Foigl is like this old school Ukrainian grandmaster strength I am who was like someone I learned a bit from by playing against and watching. Igor is still around, but he doesn't play anymore. Yeah, so you played like Foigl. This is good. Take. I like this for black. This has got to be at least equal. G4less. It wasn't against you, Chess Pro. Okay, that's weird. I thought it was against you. Strange. I didn't play that. Who did I play on Wednesday where I played B3? I know Soltigo likes to play weird openings. This definitely fits the bill. Only one game, surprisingly, reaching this position. Somebody played D4 here. Actually, a number of players played D4 here. Just this player. Oh, it's like the same player against 3 different opponents. I guess this is like a Czech guy. No, I don't know, actually. Could be Could be check, right? Probably check. D4. Okay, I mean there's some basis to this, maybe, you know, leaving the knight just out on h5 would be the point of playing d4. More complicated, at least. But it looks like c5 is pretty strong. Anyways, so takes. d4 best according to the engine for a moment, but we don't trust my engine. I want to play h6, Nefedov. You can almost do it, but it looks a little slow. What's the problem here? You're just neglecting the rest of your development, I guess. All right. I mean, I guess we gotta admit that c6 is a solid move. Here you're actually inducing knight e5, which is not a bad policy, probably. Correct. Now the knight will recirculate back through like d3 to f4, c5. But you're going to play f6 and bust up that g5 pawn with another method. So it doesn't increase your central pawn preponderance. Like h6 would be more ideal for black, but it's hard to actually execute it. Wow, he just goes for e4. Challenging him, letting him take. Play e5 if he wants to. How relevant is his space advantage with this many pieces off the board? He goes f4. It's like best move too. Wow, where's your queen going? Just back to c7. It's the weirdest Caro-Kann ever. Man, if I play queen a3, I definitely wouldn't have the guts to do that. I would err on the side of caution with queen c7 here. It's just like, you are preventing him from castling, though. I mean, I applaud your bravery. It looks like a dangerous move, but maybe good. Knight c4. Guess we have to take it. But again, more exchanges turn his position into, you know, like overextended rather than space advantage. This concept we talked about in the first game, where we looked at, or the second game we looked at with Chess Pro's game. We're looking at positions where, you know, having a space advantage is good when you have more pieces on the board, but the less pieces that are on the board, the less your space advantage means, and in this case it might just be like overextended, and that's what looks like's happening to Ostrowski's position. He's like got a space advantage, but you're not cramped. You only have like a few pieces left to develop. The knight, in fact, on g7 is quite good. Now his d4 pawn is weak. What do you just win that? You missed queen b2 here. Oh, he has a defense to save the pawn with queen c3. Take. Still very touch and go for white. He's on the verge of losing a pawn, probably. These are so weak. You know, Nefedov played well. This sort of let him off the hook a little bit, though, it looks like. Here was the key moment where you could have pounced with queen b2, queen c3, takes, and now these two pawns, he can defend with knight e2, but you can attack it a number of times. What's going on after rook d8, knight e2? There's no way to win the pawns. So black is just a little bit better based on white being overextended, but wow, the engine is like your +1. I mean, that's pretty insane. I mean, a full +1 for black here. Maybe you have c5 coming. Is that it? How about knight e6 and c5? We don't have that because of bishop e5 check. Knight d5. Ah. And then finally you can win a pawn. f4. But if you take the pawn on g5, you're kind of uncoordinated. Is this bad? Shit, the knight gets trapped. It's unbelievable. Alright. Wow, so it's amazingly difficult to actually win material here. Probably, yeah, probably Nefedov was thinking about this stuff and like, damn, he can't see a way to win material, so instead he does like knight f5. And white is consolidated. White is okay now. Has to castle kingside. Oh my god, he did. Yeah, it's like a weird Caro-Kann. I like this game though. I'm so glad I chose this rather than looking at one of my games. He apparently had b4, making your queen uncomfortable. Well, that was my fear when I put the queen on a3, that something bad could happen. Ostrowski is clearly, you know, like a strong player. He's got counter chances. e6, bishop e6. What? Bishop a6. The computer has a tactic. Oh my god. How does that work? What? e6, bishop a6. That is insane. That is insane. What are you talking about? Engine. e6, bishop a6. That is so insane. Pawn takes and then queen g2. I mean, that is brutal to find that. And it's not even like forced mate or anything. Rook d h8. Okay, so there's no time for e6 anyway. Man, he got fancy here when he should have just taken with the bishop. My engine is again exaggerating like the advantages, so don't look at that. Don't judge it by the value. Since I refreshed my Firefox today, it seems to be evaluating too high. Bishop takes f5. This was the game. I mean, no, he did rook takes f5, getting fancy. So he should have done bishop takes. It's a really difficult line to find in like a fast game. This was a blitz game. I mean, you got to play like, what, g6? And you're like, how does that work? Nah, I don't know, man. This was tough. I can't blame Ostrowski for doing this. This is probably enough for equality. Just goes back. He plays crazy move now. Oh no, he forgot about your queen or something. I think he forgot your queen was there. And he just thought about his tactics. But apparently he has to go back. And then rook check, king g2, rook check, king f3, or king g3. Rook check, it's like a draw. But I think he just got excited and saw threats for himself and like forgot your queen is coming into b2. Yeah, the tactic with queen g2, even Naka probably wouldn't have seen it. It's just too abstract putting together like bishop a6 and queen g2. But Ostrowski just tragically blundered here. I think forgetting about this quiet piece that's been sitting there on a3 since like eternity. So he was just looking at the rooks and like forgot about the queen on a3. And that's it. Now bishop e2 is the only try. Check. And then the queen comes in again. Oh, I thought you were going to play queen takes c3 check. Now it's relevant. And you must have been low on time. Oh god, you had 2 seconds left. No wonder. Yeah. Oh, he lost on time here. Oh, it was a draw. Okay, he didn't lose on time. You had no time, he had no time. So apparently you're winning there, but if he had, you know, if he had seen this, it would have been a draw earlier with like bishop takes f5. Actually, rook takes f5 is still a draw, right? We looked at this. Yeah. Takes. I mean, rook takes a f5, rook takes h2, which was well played in time pressure. And this should be a draw. He has to find the perfect move, though. That's hard to find. I mean, he's got 25 seconds left. I mean, I probably wouldn't have found it. Maybe 5 plus 2, maybe not. I would say my chances of finding rook f2 would be like 50-50. Probably I wouldn't have found it. Maybe less than 50-50. Was an exciting game, man. Good job. So let's play a couple more games. Melody Marathon. This is Chess Pro. Casual A+3. Guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow morning with more Blitz and Classical Chess at 9 a.m. CEST. So, yeah, Nefedov is getting stronger. Nefedov, I don't know. Does anybody here know about, like, does anybody know anything about Russian chess, or a place where I can find out about historical Russian chess information? I was doing a research into the Blumenfeld Gambit, and the funny thing about the Blumenfeld Gambit is it's named after this old Russian master from the beginning of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, late 19th century, Benjamin Blumenfeld. I think he was like a Moscow master, but it's like the guy literally doesn't have any games where he actually played. There's no games in the database with Blumenfeld playing the Blumenfeld, and I thought this is very strange. So if anyone knows any resources for like researching like Russian chess history, or anyone who knows a lot about that, playing c5 here. I guess I castle sometimes. I forget what I do. Alright. Google is a great resource. Google I can research for Russian chess historical information, I guess, because I couldn't find anything directly looking for Blumenfeld. But I'm trying to find like a Russian chess player who knows a lot about history. And maybe because Alekhine played the Blumenfeld and Bulgalyabov played the Blumenfeld in 1922, and they're Russian chess players who may have had some connection to Blumenfeld in some way. You know, maybe they named it after him, or how did the opening get that name? It must have been named that in some Russian chess publication somewhere, or else like Alekhine or somebody like attributed it to Blumenfeld. Which I'm trying to find out. I'll have to ask Chess Notes Edward Winter if he's still alive. Does anybody know if Winter's Chess Notes still exists? They used to have that like in the Chess Cafe, but I think that site is done. Who said they play this variation as Black Zen chess? I recommended this to one of my students. Belyavsky played this against me with black, and he drew, so it must be good. That was the tournament where Wojtkiewicz threatened to kill me for like not beating Belyavsky. We were rooming together, and he was so mad at me that he like wouldn't talk to me for like an hour. And then Belyavsky like won the tournament, sure enough, after I accepted a draw like with a clear advantage. Future Chess GM. What's up, buddy? Bishop a5, Melody Marathon Thinking. I like Bishop a5. I've played both sides of this position. I've played white and black. I played black against, actually, I never had black in a tournament game, just a lot of blitz games. And I had a lot of blitz games and also a similar type of position against Atzel Gergo in May when I played 4 Queen e7 and transposed to a position very similar to this. Are we talking about the Blumenfeld Gambit? Yeah. So there are no games in historical databases with Benjamin Blumenfeld playing the Blumenfeld Gambit, and the question, you know, becomes like, how did it get named the Blumenfeld Gambit if the guy doesn't have any games in that opening? So it must have been like a word of mouth kind of thing, or they're just like games that are lost, or just like Alekhine or Bulgalyabov like said it was Blumenfeld's idea. They ended up playing it, but they got it from somewhere. I don't know who played it first, Alekhine or Bulgalyabov. That I can figure out, but basically, I mean, I'm just curious who invented the move officially, like first. Was it really Blumenfeld? And if so, are there any historical games that can back that up? So Zen Chess is talking about this position. Nefedov says, I'll try to ask at Russian chess forums. You could do it yourself. You have a degree or something in Russian. I don't. I don't have a degree in Russian. I just had to pass Russian to finish. I definitely don't have a degree in Russian. I just had to like pass, basically 4 semesters of Russian to get my normal degree. I don't have a degree in any languages. I'm not a linguist. I'm not really talented for audio memory. I think. But I'm working on this video series for the chess world, and I got to be curious about it. Sometimes openings are named for people, and like it's not clear how it got that name. Anyway, Melody Marathon. I don't know how I got on this subject. Anyway, Melody Marathon played D takes C5, which I didn't really talk about. I mean, this move looks like a mistake. He's giving up his center. It's not like he's losing or something, but I think it's like a fundamental positional error. Giving up a central pawn for a wing pawn. According to Wiki, Benjamin Blumenfeld invented it. Yeah, man, Wiki. But I mean, okay. People rely on Wikipedia way too much. You can't publish like a doctoral thesis based on what Wikipedia says. We've got a lot of resources in the chess world. I just have to access them, but they're not that easy to get to. Probably if I went to like the Central Chess Club in Moscow, I could get like all kinds of crazy information. But that's not something I just can tap into. So anyways, no, it's partly just I'm curious about it. Hungarians were really big on the Blumenfeld Gambit. Marazzi played it in 1922, and the same year when Alekhine and everybody started playing it, and then later quite a few Hungarian players really got into it. I'm saying this because I live in Hungary. For those of you, it's not like a random comment. A lot of people may not realize, who are watching the stream for the first time, that is where I happen to live, and that's why it's relevant. But Marazzi played it, then later Laszlo Sabo played it in a really bad game against Geller. He got like crushed, or maybe he saved the game, but he was crushed. And then Portish started playing it. I could call Portish, actually. I should call Portish and ask him like something. I'm just kind of like embarrassed to call Portish and like ask him a stupid question about something like so minor. It's funny, I was here since 2004, and I wanted to do like an interview with Andor Lilienthal like years ago, but I was like, oh, I should interview like Lilienthal, and then he died. I have a picture of Bobby Fischer with Andor Lilienthal. It's really amazing. A photo. We're a loser. What's up? Bases. Okay. Thanks for the reference. What is that exactly? Italian A4 lectures. Really interested in that variation. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't meant to just be on the a4, but that's what it kind of ended up being. This is reminding me like I'm trying to play the Blumenfeld. It feels like I'm trying to play the Blumenfeld gambit. Anyways, what is going on around here? Man, I don't know. I'm tempted to play d4, but it almost looks like it. It almost looks like it's rushing it a little bit. If my pawns get blockaded, then it's all like a fail. Man, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? d4, knight e4 doesn't look that bad for white. It's kind of hard to get my knight into the game. He's sort of playing against the knight on a6, I guess, to a degree. If I move anything, I could walk into b4. h5, h4. The last time I did that in a Nimzo, I got killed by Sabo Gergo. Slightly different position. Very different position. I just don't know. Like d4, what does it really do? d4, pawn takes e4, pawn takes d4, knight e4. And then his queenside majority becomes dangerous. I also don't like that. Really unsure here. How to unravel my position. Trying to remain flexible and keep the tension maximally while keeping him restricted. d4, knight e4. Knight takes e4. Maybe I have this. We got to do something. I'm running out of time. Can you d4 and move 12? That's what we're finding out now. It's pretty committed. Old Russian book. Okay, World Loser. Thanks, man. I mean, you would think like if there were any games prior to 1922 played in the Blumenfeld Gambit, I mean, ChessBase would have them, you know. I mean, the ChessBase Megabase is pretty comprehensive, but probably in some old Russian books there's some secret games hiding out there somewhere. It's gotten pretty complicated here, honestly. His queenside majority 3-on-1 is potentially dangerous. I mean, obviously. My king is castle, his king is not. But we're gonna have to be very energetic to take advantage. Okay, his queenside majority is still a ways away from materializing, you know, to the point of being dangerous, but you can never be too careful. This is... Now he can take back either way. So we're checking. We're checking, taking on d2, and then taking on e4, the ultra materialistic approach. But I'm not sure, you know, that this is... I'm not sure this is enough to compensate for his counterplay. Alright, white's pretty messed up, honestly. The fact that he's going to lose his ability to castle normally here. He doesn't have bishop f3 skewering my stuff because of his rook hanging on b1 and other random factors. King f1 is more or less only move. Okay, you can legally play g3, but actually no, wait a second. Okay, g3, queen takes e4, or I just do bishop takes d2 check first, and then play queen takes e4. Hopefully the fact that his king is unsafe is enough of an advantage that White's queenside majority doesn't have time to factor in here. You skim through the Russian book, it is called Chess Player's Dictionary. No games of Blumenfeld. Yeah, he's just not he's just not famous enough, you know. He was like a lesser master. Lesser demigod. Queen takes e4. Queen takes e4, he can castle. It's like chess 960. He can always castle, right? Unfortunately. The knight is in on a6. He's got rook f4. Calculating here. Really digging deep with the knight c5. Now I was hallucinating he had a move he can't play there. Rook f4. Damn, dude. I just did this knight c5 move and White had bishop f3 and he didn't play it. Oh my god. We're both stupid. Okay. We're both stupid. We both overlooked bishop f3. Bad oversight. I'm getting too distracted thinking about conversations. At knight 8, knight c5 was just a mental blunder. Whoa, now rook f4. I guess we have to take and play this ending. Oh, this is winning for me because of rook d8. Damn, dude, it's kind of unfair. No, it's not winning. Well, it may be winning, but it's not winning immediately. Okay, he has a move. He has a move. Move has been found. Only one, though. We're going to pick up some pawns. We're going to play a rook and pawn in game with a better structure and a pawn up. It should be. That's it, man. Only move. This should be enough to win. Well, it's still not that easy, but we have 4 against 2 on the king's side. Be careful, me. Gotta guard my 7th rank. I have to make it. Man, now he's been forced to go passive. Which case we can make progress. At which case? I actually said that. In which case? Just mobilize the whole damn king side. This was possibly a serious mistake. Melody Marathon is just suddenly, he's turning into a monster. Turning into a monster. I'm officially freaking out. What am I supposed to play here? Dude's technique is like amazing. Now I've got to take this and just like try to hold on. I'm almost lost. Oh, good defense. Found that. Wow, man. Nice endgame technique. I don't really want to lose. Another draw. Amazing, amazing blitz defense of the lost rook ending. I mean, that's not something that too many players are capable of. Mostly people fold up against me, like when they reach endgames, and Melody Marathon just played better and better as the endgame went on. Apparently this is winning, but it takes like perfect technique, and I had 17 seconds left. It's not really enough time. I have to play extremely precise moves, like every move probably like one move. Here F4 check apparently was mandatory, and I wasn't looking at that move because it looks kind of like it makes my pawns not very fluid. So this is a really tough ending to win. Yeah, this is an impressive endgame by white. You thought you could do bishop f3 after d4 after b4. Yeah, well, I didn't see it at all. In fact, you had the bishop f3, right? That was the one point where white was better. So knight c5 is like a horrific blunder. I mean, I have to play rook d8 or something, and then it's, I guess, better for me, but, you know, here the engine is saying like bishop d3. This was exactly the way I felt about the position. It's good that my intuition is correct. I thought that the queenside majority and stuff and the bad knight, you know, actually offsets my advantage. So here apparently I was better before, though. I must have missed something. I missed d3. Definitely not something we should overlook, since it's such a forcing move. Yeah, because I'm taking on e2 with tempo. I guess I thought you could play bishop takes d3 and take on a5. This was what I didn't see. And then I have bishop takes e4, not like queen e3 check or something, but only bishop takes e4. And I win the game. All right. Too much tactics for me. It's been a long day. World Losers up next. We already did Nefedov's analysis. Okay, let's play a couple more blitz games, or classical, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, it was an interesting game. World Loser, 8+3, Ayesta, Aldisto, Nefedov, Zenchess. I'm not sure. I'm not going to get to all the games. I mean, I'll play the games I can. See you later. Move. Oh, who's leaving? So Soltigo is leaving. Move 11. Yeah, I should have analyzed d3 more. It was like it was too good to be true, though. You know, I'm kind of a pessimist, and that's why sometimes I miss easy wins, because I just don't really believe it could be so easy. d3, I honestly just didn't calculate. Bishop takes a5, bishop takes e4 first, and then I'm winning a piece. World Loser, what's up? What are we going to play against World Loser? We played e4. World Loser with e4. He's more d4 guy. Chess player, Chess Pro, is a top 50 Ultra Bullet player. Pro at swindling. Yeah, you have to have good endgame technique to be good at Ultra Bullet. I imagine that would be an important component, obviously, of bullet chess. Ultra Bullet, I won't go into that, but I assume in bullet chess, we've had this discussion. I mean, endgame technique is probably an important factor for top players, like in bullet chess. I won't say I really consider Ultra Bullet to be an actual thing, but not to dispute your top 50 status, but you know, I'm not really into the bullet thing. c3, and World Loser goes off in the weird variations. Years ago, Caruana used to play this with white. I don't remember if we ever had this before World Loser. Mostly you played more d4 stuff. But nevertheless, it's an interesting variation. It's very okay for white. I have had a number of games, never against anybody very strong. I'm sure there's a few strong specialists who play this line for white. Oh, the Kopek. A form of the Kopek. Oh man, yeah, maybe we have had this before. Kopek liked the audacity of playing bishop d3 straight up, I guess. You know, it's more audacious than doing like c3. I think Danny just liked being audacious. But he appreciated my creativity, and I thank him for that. Knight c6. I don't know even what the best line is. I guess we probably played this before World Loser. I forgot. I think you're supposed to do like bishop c2 immediately, though. So I can play bishop g4. It's possible it could even transpose to a Rasalimo. We could actually transpose to a kind of weird Lopez. I don't play the Sicilian, so I can transpose to the Roy Lopez. That's always been my training, my train of thought. A million miles away. He's a bot. Yeah, I don't know. Are there bots that can play chess? Are there bots that can do? Possibly. I'm sure there are bots that play bullet. Ask King Crusher. He's probably an expert. Another bot. Oh. Bishop takes. Smashing his keyboard as he's like crushed by another bullet bot. Bishop takes f3. Queen takes f3. Knight e5. Bishop e5 check. I blundered that once, and I don't remember who that was against. What if I tried to do like I do in the Rasalimo? Bishop takes, queen takes, g6. Sort of along the lines of... No, who did I play? Ayeste in that other line. Very similar to this. Bishop h5, g4. That doesn't really look good for white, does it? Therefore, by default, bishop h5 is a good move. it's a move, right? I'm playing the Bishop G5 Smyslov King's Indian in a way, you know. There's a similarity here with this setup. Very much so, you know, what I'm doing and the Bishop G5 Smyslov King's Indian. Believe it or not. A million miles away, we assumed you were joking. There was a smiley face there. Bishop takes f3 is not necessary now. World Loser is making a donation to the Pawns in the Center Fund. Apparently, he sort of plays a little too fast sometimes, but I've got to be careful. Could be a trap. I mean, it's an open position, and he has a slight lead in development. You know, welcome to the Sicilian. Like, my king is in e8, and my kingside pieces haven't moved yet. You know, so there is a very, very tiny compensation here for white. Maybe I should not take on d4 in order to maybe slow his development a little bit. It's like a Slav. World Loser's playing the black side of the Slav now. Sans one pawn. It's turned into a Queen's Gambit. World Loser is now playing the Queen's Gambit exchange variation. Except only he did the exchange. Alright. Now he's threatening nothing special. I think he doesn't really want to take, does he? Well, he could take. I think here with the pawn up, we're not going to take any chances. General philosophy. This is another. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I'm not going to give him any complications. We're going to keep it as simple as possible. We are clear pawn up with a better structure. And that's it, man. The bishops don't do well in this type of pawn, like this type of exchange variation or Slav pawn structure. This bishop is one of my chess students called this eating dirt. I kind of like that. I never heard that really like ascribed to it before, but it's not a bad terminology. It's like the ultimate Alekhine's defense. Alright, now we need a way to make progress. Probably getting to the file is a good place to start. Bishop f6 just forces him to make an only move, and I don't think that's necessarily really beneficial. But maybe I would like my bishop on g7 in the long run here. How about my queen? We can make him backpedal now with like, he may have put the wrong rook, because I can do queen b6 and make him say sorry for putting his rook on c1. Then he can stuff it with bishops. No, he's got rook c5 actually. So queen b6 is not so good. Alright, then his rook move was actually okay. We'll just have to try to trade pieces and get to an ending where we're just better. Now what? Queen b6, rook c5 I don't like. We'll do like queen d7. Look for some white squares. We've got knight e7 to f5, g6, bishop g7. World Loser played b5. Combative move. Did not anticipate. But it's also maybe risky for him. Weakening his structure. Randomly grabbing space. Alekhine's defense maneuver. Can I win a game today? I have a couple draws. I'm hard to beat, but I have too many draws. It's funny, it even carries over to my simuls. I have a lot of draws in my simuls on lichess. Just can't escape the draws. I'm going to play b6. I don't want to see that queen in there. I've had enough of that for now. We'll just fix it the way it is. He can't really use this support point. Got to be careful. He's just grabbing space at random. But that could be dangerous. Now I have to recalibrate my plan here. Knight h4 is not good. It's off center. Knight takes. We'll suck it up and let him go g5 and re-coordinate. We should be fine. Our loser is amazing with the speed of play. Paxim, good to see my stream today. Thank you. What happened? He didn't do it. I really thought he was gonna play I thought he was gonna play g5, push me back. I never have any tactics or anything. h6 maybe. My intention was to play g6, but you know, I'm having second thoughts about it. Yeah, but h6 is sort of artificial too. Now I'm going to try to trade his bishop off, but I'm sure he's not going to cooperate. I want to get access to the c7 square so I can double on the c file. But as long as I can't do that, you know, it's very irritating. It's kind of like an exchange Caro-Kann structure now. Where loser plays super fast, but I don't know now. I mean, my plan was to play h6. My plan wasn't to play h6. But that's what happened. Bishop f4 paralyzes him. Temporary paralysis. Do I have ever like a tactic or something? No. You can never get a tactic. Alright, I'm just gonna overprotect everything. Rook b3. He's gonna triple on me. Look at that. Where do you come up with that stuff? How does he come up with that? You know, like that quickly. He's not even using any time. Eating dirt. But still, it's like, how the heck, you know, do I finish him off here? We've got him kind of frozen on the king side, and maybe we can eventually pick off the a pawn with like queen b4 and eat the pawn. It's just a very long process. It's not easy to beat World Loser without taking some sort of risk, I guess. That's what I'm trying to do here. God, this is sort of tedious. I mean, I could simply play knight a5 and trade everything. Try to trade everything. But my knight sucks on a5. You know, I don't really want to do that. Chess Pro, that's correct. No, but I mean that doesn't really solve any mysteries. It's just that's the standard. That's the standard thing. Knight e3 check. Trading to an ops colored bishop position. Or loser's trying to like checkmate me on the king side. I've now weakened my king side pretty seriously. Maybe I need to play e5 actually. It's sort of crazy. Man, this is awkward. Forget about the queen side. We'll just focus on the king side. I give up, man. You've held me on the queen side. I can't make progress. Oh, he did h5. He did h4 himself. Holy crap. It's just craziness, dude. I don't even know what to do. I'm totally confused. Totally confused. I really gonna lose my mind here soon. Alright, I'm going to repeat that position once. Or try. What the heck is going on? I have a tactic. I'm not so sure. It's pretty complicated. Yeah, he saw it. Now I probably have to take on c2. Just play this. And even here he has a lot of play. Like whatever I do, he has an out, basically. Every single position. And he's like always 2 minutes ahead of me on the clock. What's happening here if I take on e3, queen f6 check? Then I get mated. g6, queen f8. Pawn takes e3. Queen f6 check, king g8, bishop h7 check, king takes, queen takes check, h7 mate. It's like ridiculous, dude. He's got 3 minutes more than me. He finds like every move instantly. He already beat me yesterday. I don't know if there's any way to survive this. It's like playing an unstoppable object. He's got so much time, it's like insane. Beat me yesterday, he's gonna beat me again today. He had the winning tactic there, rook takes e6. I guess he's just settling for winning on time. Yeah, no defense. Like, check this out, dude. Black White's play is amazing in this game. I mean, he has a totally lost position and then just plays like the end amazing. Look at this. From a lost position with no counterplay, he turns this into an attacking position for White. Out of nowhere. Watch this. King g2, bishop g5, bishop h4, bishop g3. Here I had a forced win with g5. Why? Why does that win? I have a forced win with g5. Why does this win? Bishop takes g3. Oh, I have knight e3 check. Oh man. That's ridiculous. He has to take with the king. And then I have queen c7 check. Man, that's sick. So I was better the whole game until the end. Then it was like equal, but I had no time. I have 48 seconds. I thought I was getting mated here. That's why I didn't play it. I thought this is over. I forgot I could play king f8 because I was looking at this and I get mated with bishop h7. When I saw this, I freaked out completely. I thought, okay, it's game over. King f8, g6. And so I forgot like my original plan, which was to play king f8. But this looks terribly scary too. Honestly, you know, I thought maybe this was lost as well. It's only by some sort of miracle that I don't lose here. Queen f8 check, king here, queen takes, and then this sick move e2. There's no way I would find this. And then by some miracle, black is okay here. So that's my draw in this position. Like, good luck finding that. I mean, I saw pawn takes pawn, and I have a minute left here. The computer says I'm winning. What? Oh, king g8. It says I'm winning with king g8. Are you sure? I didn't see how to defend against g6. So my king can just like walk over? F takes g6, queen takes g6 check, king f8. Can't believe I'm winning here. Queen f6 check, king e8. I mean, there's a check on h5 that looks terrifying. Doesn't do anything. What? That's insane. I never would have found this. I mean, I was terrified. So I did the second best move. And then here I have to play perfectly. But the computer says it's equal, but it's not equal. I mean, black has to walk like a tightrope to hold this position. Black has to play like literally perfect move after perfect move. If you call that equal, okay, it's equal, but objectively, I don't know. I mean, now I'm lost after queen f8. Close to lost. Queen d8. Queen d8 I have to play. Why is that so much better? I mean, on paper the material is equal, but white's rook is more forward. His queen and rook are more forward, more well placed than my queen and rook. White is more equal than black in this position, in my opinion. That was sick. Alright, that was a hard game to lose. Ayesta is up. This will probably be our last game for today, guys. Sorry I can't play more. Million miles away, could you run over that tack again? I don't know if we covered it. Queen h5 maybe instead of... Blue Crow, what's up? Queen h5 instead of bishop takes c2 for queen h6 and rook h3. Oh man, I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't want to look at it anymore. I mean, World Loser beat me 2 days in a row now. What did I do? What? What just happened? I did the back button or what? Sorry, did I just like... Ayesta's challenge, I just bailed on it? Ayesta... It was Ayesta, right? Or who was it? Whoever I just accepted. What happened? Playing right now. There it is. Okay. We're still playing. Man, that was hard. His time use is like unbelievable. You know? I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, and he's got 3 minutes left. But then sometimes he just hangs pieces. I mean, he did blunder the tactic that I missed, you know, with bishop takes g3. Okay, let's try something with g3 maybe. A g3 based setup. I'm experimenting with this. Oops, I'm experimenting with this move order for the first time. I had a game earlier today where black did like g6, castles, bishop g7, and okay, this is something else, bishop g4. Inducing knight e5, Nefedov. Although knight e5 may be the main move in this position, I'm not sure. This is a different position. A much different position, but c takes d is probably... This position I have played before. I mean, queen b3. Queen b3 I've been playing a lot before. Don't really like it. C takes d is bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, c takes d. It's playable for black, and castles allows like pawn takes pawn, or bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, pawn takes pawn, which kind of bothers me a little bit. Like, I don't know that I have enough compensation there. Maybe you do have to do knight e5 in this one. I don't like doing knight e5. Alright, I'll play pawn takes pawn. Thank you guys for tuning in. We had a couple games to analyze and some blitz and classical chess. I'm going to take off in like 15 minutes. And I'm going to be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. CEST. I had a rough day today. I don't think I won any games. Maybe I won one. You guys are pretty tough. So let's be careful here. Hold on a second. He did not play bishop takes f3. I have queen a4 check. That doesn't do anything. We have knight e5 though, which may be real now. That's the most dynamic move. Along with queen b3, black can still play queen b6. Knight e5, bishop c8 is even possible. I don't know. I'm in time pressure again. I mean, it's easier, you know, if you don't think. Then no brain, no pain. That's what I say. So Blumenfeld was a mystery man. Well, not that much documentation. You know, he wasn't a world-class player of like Alekhines strength. You know, like a world champion or something. He was a known master. I don't know, but I think the Russian chess history books have got to have more on it. You know. World Loser said, I play 3-0 games, therefore I am fast, guy. Well, I play 3-0 too, but I try to take my time in the longer games. My problem is that I put myself in this hole and I think I can get out, but sometimes like there, I just couldn't, I couldn't get out. I should have seen the combination with 93 check earlier. By the time I did it, it was unclear and scary, and I just chickened out. I guess that line that I should have played would have been a draw or some kind of line. The walking the king away variation I never would have believed was possible. Have I ever seen any of the chess-based videos from their shop? Well, not like recently. I mean, chess-based has been making videos for a very long time, probably like 25 years. So I've seen older ones, and I've seen like, yeah, I think I've seen most recently like a Svidler one, but not like anything produced in the last couple of years. Not really recent ones. Anyway, but Move 11, I think that ChessBase's videos are pretty good quality. I mean, I would hope they pay their commentators really well. I never had any dealings with ChessBase. Feels like ChessBase is I mean, my dealings with them as a customer, I'm not really satisfied, but for customer service reasons, not like the quality of their product, I'm not really happy with them. They also don't seem like they market themselves well, like other older chess enterprises. They should market themselves better. Okay, Ayesta, you're taking longer than me now. Okay, one approach for black would be play knight c6, and I've seen grandmasters do stuff like allow knight takes g4. He plays the super crazy queen a5, stopping queen a4 check. This is insane. Queen a5. He's got the diagonal under control. He's defending his d5 pawn and stopping queen a4 check, but one would assume that there's a weak link in this chain here for black somewhere, at least, you know, in one place. I can take and play e4, which is certainly not a bad place to start, but I can take and play queen b3 as well. Reminds me of the Grob, like some key variation of the Grob where you do like g4 and then like c4 and queen b3. You take on g4 and play queen b3, and then on knight c6 we're just eating everything. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. But he has that perverse knight takes g4, knight takes g4, queen b3, queen b6 defense. Oh no. And then it's like all the party's over. Queen b3 right away would allow him to play bishop c8, ironically, which probably holds on. So the knight takes g4, knight takes g4, e4 variation allows knight e5 with weird complications. This is an interesting position, if nothing else, I guess. That I can see why you thought for so long. You know, the chicken way to play is like just take and castle. e4, knight e5 with the threat of knight to d3 disrupting my position. Queen b3, queen b6 unfortunately holds me to a very minimal advantage. So we'll just castle, keep our options open. The knight on g4. He'll probably retreat and we'll just play a game. Well, I'm threatening queen b3. Maybe I'm threatening it for real now after knight f6, queen b3. So queen b6 there doesn't work anymore. I just eat the pawn on d5. Fianchetto my queen. e6, e4. Knight f6, pawn takes pawn. Logical, but queen b3 is hard to defend against. You're going to have to do something crazy. This reminds me of a game my student lost in a game this weekend, actually. Oh my god. The dude just ripped him apart. I thought my student's opponent was like a computer or something. It may take dramatic action here. b5 doesn't look good. b6, I mean b6 should suffer a similar fate. Queen b6 is unhealthy. Queen a6. If I was Andras Shadorian, I would be pissed because I was winning with white in like 10 moves instead of black. This is the danger there. So it's a problem for black. Queen b4. Oh my god. Like we both overlooked it. That's so weird that we both overlooked this move. Queen b4. The solution. Okay, queen a6 is possible too, but I think that's much less active. No, still it's okay. Even queen a6 is okay. Sort of a sad blunder there to end the stream. Yes, the interesting opening though. Let's see where we left from book here. Yeah, I was right. So knight e5 is the main move, but I'm not in love with this. I mean, I've looked at this, and Black can do anything in this position, like bishop e6, bishop f5, even bishop c8 is playable. I don't know, you know, like it's really literally every move. Bishop h5, bishop f5, bishop e6, bishop c8, e6. This is what I was talking about. Shirov has played this against Aronian last year. You can literally play every single move after knight e5. Let's see, I did pawn takes pawn. Yeah, you should play bishop takes f3. This is the safest approach. Eating dirt like World Loser yesterday. I mean, last game. Yesterday. This is pretty dead. But I'm sure that World Loser could find a way to beat me. Even though he's not a pawn down. Let's see. Okay, it's main line to take back with the pawn, and now knight e5. There is quite a bit of theory here. I mean, just games. Garry Kasparov, how to play the Najdorf. Yeah, World Loser. That's really good. The Kasparov on the Najdorf. Do I agree that 1g4 is the worst move for white? I don't know. It's one of the worst moves. I hate the Grob. Yeah. I do hate the Grob. What's worse than g4 actually? I don't know. I think there's an argument for g4 being the worst move, but it's not that clear. So queen a5 is a TN, and I've got nothing better than what I did, but I should play knight c3 first. Knight c3 first. I was looking at, what was I looking at? E4. Okay, e4 is complicated because of knight e5. This is pretty weird, actually. I wasn't really sure what was going on here. Apparently this is good for white, but I have to castle. This first, when I would assume e6, but then I have a better version of e4. Alright guys, I will be back tomorrow to play more games with you. Classical and Blitz. Friday free-for-all, basically. Playing everybody, not just subscribers. Man, I got beat up. Thank you for the pity 10-move victory. I guess they just wanted to make me feel better, I think. Giving me a piece there. We had a really rough time of it today. Let's see. We lost against World Loser, though we had a winning position. We drew with Melody Marathon, though we had a winning position. We drew with Morales, and we had a winning position. Is there a theme here? My technique is not good. And I beat Greg's, although I was almost like lost. Anyway, guys, we had some fun. We analyzed some interesting games, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing to the stream. Thanks for taking it easy on me tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, Friday at 10 a.m. CEST here on lichess and Twitch. Thanks, Move 11, Chess Pro, ISTib, World Loser, Blue Crow. Thanks for showing up, and all you guys are awesome. I will see you again, hopefully tomorrow. Well, some of you anyway. If not, I have a simul on Sunday. That's full-time simul, 40 time control for 25 players Sunday night. And also, I wanted to just point out my video, channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube, which I normally announce here. Also, thanks to all of you who have donated via PayPal. I had another donation via PayPal from one of our regular viewers this week, and I want to thank him for that. So you can make a donation via PayPal on lichess, not on lichess, on Twitch or Video Chess Training on YouTube. I also support lichess and do donate to lichess, and I advocate that you guys do the same if you can afford it. Awesome. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.